Meanwhile, besides getting invited to Sunday dinner, I get invited to play Monopoly with Shank, Grease, and Guru, the three toughest white guys in Building 40. Joe Dente, he was a bookmaker, very, very well connected. And he might have been the toughest guy there because he had a whole lot of people under him that would have fought for him. But these three guys, Guru, I know his name was John, I don't remember his last name. These three guys are all in their 30s. Grease, man, this guy Grease was a brilliant man. John Assalone called himself Grease or Grease Pits, or what he preferred, Mr. G Pitts. And he and I would play chess, and it would be like a wrestling match, like a WWF match. And every time he made a dynamic move, he would stand up and smack the table and say, "I got him, boys, I got him." Everybody rooted for Grease. Everybody rooted for Grease because we played for push-ups, and I couldn't do push-ups for shit. And everybody wanted to see me try to do push-ups after Grease beat me in chess. The guy was amazing. He's 35 years old, and he spent about half his life incarcerated. And by his own admission, he said, "Yeah, it's warm in here, so and I like to spend my winters inside. I like to spend my summers in the streets, and sometimes I mess up a little bit too badly, and I end up spending an extra summer locked up. What are you going to do?" Between juvenile hall and everything else, he'd spent close to half his life at age 35, incarcerated one way or another. So you had him, you had Shank, who had just gotten back from the furlough, courtesy of the Blathering boomer, and his literary prowess. Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and you had Guru. So they invited me to play Monopoly. Let me tell you something. This was like no Monopoly game I'd ever played before. I mean, in the past, you play Monopoly, you roll the dice, there'd be a little bit of trading maybe, but for the most part, you're going to get the properties you landed on. You're going to buy them. If you had money, you buy the houses, you buy the hotels. You get enough houses, people start landing. You know how to play Monopoly. But you don't know how to play Monopoly like these guys played. And I say played in finger quotes. As soon as I got my first property, one of them wants to trade. So I start negotiating a trade, but I'm negotiating with a guy who's twice as big as me and has spent half his adult life in prison. Because all three of these guys, Grease might have been the most extreme, but all these guys in their late 30s had been locked up for at least 10 years, one way or another. Grease more than the other two. So one of the guys wants to trade with me, but it's not really a trade. It's more of a shakedown. It's more like he really wants the property I have, and he's naming a price that is far below what I really want for it, let alone what it's even worth. And now I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm not being physically threatened or anything like that, but I'm being extremely psychologically intimidated by somebody who wants to buy, let's say, Oriental Avenue for $50, whatever. Make up the price. Again, I'm sorry. I remember playing. I don't remember the exact sequence of events. So one of them wants to trade with me, negotiate with me. He wants the property I have. And I'm on the verge of taking a pretty bad deal for myself, but I don't want to say no. I'm kind of afraid to say no. Well, then what happens? One of the other two, when he sees him about to, you let him push you around? Yeah, don't let him push you around. You can get more than that. And I'm like, uh-oh. There's that scene in Goodfellas where Joe Pesci has Tommy has shot Spider, and Spider tells him to go. He flips him off basically, and De Niro's like, "You gonna take that from him?" So that's what this was like. I was Spider, and I had 3 different Tommy DeSimones play Monopoly with me. Every deal I get offered was a crappy deal. Every deal I accepted got criticized nastily by the other 2 guys. This went on for hours. For hours. It was excruciating. Needless to say, I didn't come close to winning. In fact, I couldn't wait. I could not wait to go bankrupt and get out of there. So those were a couple of things that came in the aftermath of getting Shanker's furlough. I got invited to pasta dinner. Pasta dinner, good. Play Monopoly with three real tough guys, not as good.